Hey guys, Jeff the Man back. I recorded this couple of fights out of Lab just for fun. Uh, just thought I'd kind of talk about the Lab experience while this one runs. I think this Void fight against X23 was just fun. I was really tired at the point that I was doing this because I was trying to finish the last path before the featured one way that had Ghost Rider in it because I really wanted to get another shot at Ghost Rider. So this is probably around midnight uh, that I'm doing this, the night before it went away. So I wasn't really thinking very well while I was doing this fight. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't think it really went that bad or anything. The only thing that was really bad was the Spidey fight. The OG Spidey fight was just horrible. I couldn't get any good rhythm with Sparky to keep his evades down, so I ended up just using revives with Blade and just like bled him out slowly. I'd parry him and get all the bleeds I could in, and I don't know how many parries you get before you can't really parry and get damage in. Then I was just parrying him and letting him bleed, and that was a lot of what I just did because I was just getting so frustrated trying to deal with his evade ability, like the extra evade that he has. Um, Black Widow was a pain several times over. Didn't really like fighting her. I could never get in the rhythm of getting in to punish her specials before her stun ability went away. When she launches specials, she has like an auto stun shield that comes on, and you have to wait for that to go away before you can attack her. Um, so I didn't do good at that. I didn't mind the Electro fight so much once you understand when to attack and when not to attack. And I had Blade with Danger Sense, so that fight was okay. The Jugs fight was okay. I'm sure these fights would have been much harder if it wasn't for Blade and Danger Sense, but with the Jugs fight, I took with that path I took extra perfect block champs in synergies, so I had more parries that way, so I could parry and get heavies off against Jugs quite a bit, as well as baiting heavies and then get heavies off. So with Sparky, it wasn't really that bad. A lot of the fights, because I had Blade and Sparky, weren't that bad, but there's a lot of fights, and they're long fights even when you have good champs. Like, it's a lot of damage to take down with all of them having 1.5 million to 3.5 million or whatever it was. So I'm certainly glad it's over. It was a lot of work to get done. The last two paths, getting them done in I don't know what it was, 54 hours or something, just to finish to try and get Ghost Rider. I already posted the rewards opening that I didn't get Ghost Rider, so it's kind of frustrating. That was 15 of those featured crystals that I opened. I might have been able to sneak in one more because I did open one basic during the run of that crystal, but 15 chances I think was more than enough to try and get them. It wasn't such a bad crystal run. I mean, I did get Corvus out of it. I did get Captain America out of it. I did get Archangel, even though I didn't get to dupe him. I'm still glad to have Archangel. But yeah, this X23 fight, like once you get the right debuffs going on her, like you can really let her reverse regen a whole lot. I think I got pretty lucky. I don't think I don't think in this fight the how well you play with Void matters like a massive amount. It's trying to get Fear the Void up and then just letting all the debuffs stack up on her to reverse that regen. Because here I'm gonna think this put Fear of the Void on, and then that's when you get to do the massive reversal regen when you get some more debuffs on top of that. So certainly wasn't upset with how many revives I used on X23. I would say most paths, even when I went back in to finish off with two rank 5s, I was still spending I was still spending an Odin or a little bit more on a lot of the paths, but I also didn't have a lot of patience. Sometimes I would just keep going in trying to get it done because it was the time to do lab that was the big struggle for me, not necessarily the like fights themselves, but because your champs get locked up and because you kind of have to, or at least I found it was better to always finish off every fight before you took a break, like get in a rhythm and finish them, unless you were just doing horribly and you had to like rethink how you were going to fight someone. And I think the only one I really had to do that with was Blue Psych. I knew the first time I fought him, I was getting like almost no damage on him and dying really quick with I used Sparky for all those fights. And once I reworked it, found that fight a lot better. Uh, there are so many tip videos out there and so many players better than me to get tips from, so I don't think I have anything really to say. But I don't know, it's a great feeling of accomplishment to have it done. Some nice rewards. I really was careful of my tier 4 class catalysts inventory before I did this to make sure that nothing was going to go into overflow. Then I opened some map crystals after the alliance quest that we were in while I finished this, and now I've got max mystic. So I'm gonna have to rank up a mystic before I open too many more crystals to make sure I don't get overflows, because I hate losing T4 class catalysts, even though they're not really that hard to get. I hate wasting resources, and I like ranking up every champ that I can for the arena for when I do get a time to grind, that I never have to worry about death matches from having rank 1s. Try to get everyone up to at least rank 2, and I've been trying to get everyone to rank 3, but trying to get tier 4 basics in the game is freaking tough. You can only get so many of them, and when you open a new hero, a new 5-star, you need 6 to get 6 tier 4 basics to get them to rank 3. So it's tough. The alphas are a lot easier now with so many events. Every 3 days you're getting an alpha from an event, getting alphas from Summer Advancement, getting alphas from the arena, getting alphas from Glory. The alphas, even though it takes 10 to get a 5-star to rank 2, still I feel like the alphas aren't that bad to get. It's the tier 4 basics that really are stopping me from getting everybody up. And then when you want to take someone, because I got Corvus and I took him straight to rank 4, that ate up my inventory, and then I had to take Void up for this fight to get my lab done, so that ate up, because he was only at rank 2, so that ate up 8 tier 4 basics to get him to rank 5, and I think he has to be rank 5 for this fight. I'm not sure with the rank 4 if the timer would just be too quick and she'd go into enrage too fast. And you wouldn't get enough off, but I'm not 100% sure. Definitely what just happened there, that stun that they put on you in lab, is probably the most frustrating thing. The little evades that they do, that everybody does in lab, is frustrating, but a lot of the times I found I didn't get punished that often. And if I did, sometimes it didn't kill me, but the evade and then a punish, or if they just sneak a hit in because you mess up and they stun you, then it was pretty much game over every time. And that's kind of frustrating, like one little slip up meaning that you die. I think that's really unfortunate that it's so RNG based. It didn't really matter how good you play, it didn't really matter how good your champs were. At the end of the day, Kabam could just, the generator will just generate an evade, and then they'll counterattack and then stun you, and it's pretty much over. I wasn't running Limber in here, like other than the 1 point to open up the tree, because I wanted to have a lot of points in offense. So when I got stunned, I was stunned for a long time, and I think there were times that they would get like into a second combo. If I didn't die in the first combo, I was still stunned, or during the first combo they would stun me again, and I'm just sitting there waiting to die. It was very, very frustrating. And I guess if you haven't played enough lab, you wouldn't understand that. But it's certainly the frustrating part, and one of the reasons that it costs so many items and units to get this done is because of how much the evading is a pain in the butt, and the stunning and everything. I mean, obviously they're champs with lots of life and they're long fights. Certainly way harder than anything else in the game. But when you look at Realm of Legends back in the day, clearing that, as long as you knew what you're doing, you could get through it. Because there was no, like, all of a sudden invade, there was no enrage timer, so that if you last long enough in the fight, if you play well and get through all these timers, that they would just kind of get this crazy power gain that would get them straight to power or to special threes, and they would just special three you right to death. So, but yeah, it was a great experience. It's been fun. It's unfortunate how much units it cost, but hey, I'm glad I finally got it done and stopped spending on Grandmaster's crystals to get Lab done. So, later, guys.